You get that cough. Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Chinesky, and I'm back for a week here on Local Sports Wrap Up. Today's the 24th of January, and I have a special guest here, Ken Brown.
Hey.
He's been holding down the fort.
How you doing? Good to have you back, Coach.
It's good to be back, man. My weeks are crazy with bowling and coaching and working and just all of it.
Yeah.
And it is good to sit down here for a half hour and see what kind of mischief I can get into.
No, it's a good deal, man. It's we missed Jet Set, but he hasn't been necessarily jet setting. He's been coaching in a little jet setting. But no, I'm glad to have you back. How's everything going? Every little thing?
Oh, it's going good. Januaries are generally slow at work, but I'm getting around. It helps me with bowling teams doing well. We'll talk about them later. How about them Cowboys? I hit you where it hurts.
Yeah.
Coming back first day, I'm going to get them where it hurts.
And I appreciate that. Yesterday, I actually took a Cowboy sick day at work. I didn't even go in. I couldn't even do it. It was one of those days, man, where you just can't take it. You stop watching ESPN, the whole thing. But Dak Prescott messed it up for me. He 2 interceptions in the red zone. 19-12. It was a good game. Whatever.
Good game. A couple of them games were hard to watch, but nothing was more interesting than a week ago. I was at a reveal party at a bar where we had a birthday and a baby reveal combined with the couple. And the cake, when you cut the cake, it was pink, so we knew we had a baby girl.
Okay.
But the game that Jacksonville was down after 4 picks, 27-0.
That's correct.
$20 put down right then would have got you about $400 on the comeback,
yeah.
from what I understand.
Yeah.
I don't gamble.
No, that was a good comeback, and it made everybody else feel comfortable moving in, right? I think with the Cowboys, though, like, that was part of the generation that I grew up in. We watched San Francisco play. The 49ers and Cowboy game was a staple all throughout the 90s,
Right.
So it was good to do that again, and I know we lost to them again last year, but anyway, I'm kind of getting over it. So.
All right, 1 sick day and you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right, basketball. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Boys and girls are hot.
The Wyandotte girls are playing really well. If you look at it from the standpoint, I know that they have won 3 in a row. I know that our station went down and did the game last Thursday, and Odd said that they looked a lot faster than he thought.
I caught that game on cable, and I agree.
Yeah, so that was Wyandotte beating Gabriel Richard 39-32. That's the game that we actually did. Edsel Ford lost to Taylor 44-23. Trenton beat up on Carlson 52-37. And then the game of the week last week was Allen Park versus Woodhaven, which was 63-60.
Definitely the game of the week. The Allen Park came out hot. I will say that Morgan Sizemore, isn't she the pitcher for their softball team?
Yeah,
she's an athlete.
Yeah.
I know that. She may not be pitching, but we read her name a lot in the spring.
And she started off hot, like had 10 points in the first quarter or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. She was hot. She scored 14 points in the first half, 10 in the first quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, you nailed that. And just a big game. Woodhaven's in the hunt. Woodhaven really, from what I've learned, had a really tough non-conference schedule.
Yeah, as we were talking about earlier with the boys, that in the non-conference, Woodhaven has actually played Cass Tech, who was rated number 1 in Division I Class A. They've also played River Rouge, who's always a good basketball program. And then they play E-Course, and the other team that they played was Romulus.
Oh,
in
geez.
a scrimmage, and Romulus has been good since '86 with Terry Mills.
And the girls play the same teams.
Yeah.
Because they put them both up there. So that's why, even though Woodhaven has a 5-8 overall record, they're not bad in the conference. They're tied for 4th, along with our Wyandotte Bears. And they're playing right now. They're playing right now at the high school.
Yeah.
Those two teams, Woodhaven and Wyandotte, that are tied for basically third, fourth, if you want to be technical. But the other thing going on is Allen Park's playing Trenton, the two first place teams, and both on 8-game winning streaks.
Yeah,
Something
they're both
give.
like 8-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, something's gonna give. Yeah,
Something's going to give.
Something's gonna
And it's
give.
Allen Park's home game, so hopefully we'll have some scores for you. Well, Ken will have some scores for you next week on that. But, yeah, it's interesting. That game's going on right now at the same time.
No, that's good. You know, the other team that's been playing fairly well going back to January 19th is Lincoln Park has been doing pretty good. They beat Southgate 39-31. It seems like Edsel Ford's struggling a little bit. They lost to Taylor 44-23. Trenton, you referenced them playing tonight in the big first place game. Last week they beat up on Carlson 52-37. So, no, it's going to be a fun time, man. Fun time at the gym.
Our Bears are on a 3-game win streak. Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
On the girls' side?
Yeah, the girls' side. They look good. You know, they're athletic. They're feisty. Working hard to get jump balls. So, you know, they're playing defense with that. But on the boys' end, it's been a little tougher. You know, the boys haven't gelled all the way, but you could see from the time that we went out there on the 12th and did the game that they've been scoring a lot more points with the boys. And that helped them. They lost to Carlson 58-50, but they made that a good game. And then they played tonight against Woodhaven.
Yeah.
The boys' scores are up now. So Trenton actually beat up on Garden City 74-51. Lincoln Park, who we saw, and they're crazy athletic and kind of tall. They beat Southgate 71-38. Taylor, they beat Edsel Ford 50-36. And then Trenton and Carlson went into overtime where Carlson beat them 61-56. And there goes that Woodhaven team we were talking about. Mm-hmm. Right? They're a monster, 63-31.
And I got to believe Allen Park's no slouch.
You know, Allen Park is always pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, so that kind of gives you an idea of what they're doing. But again, they're playing tough teams. So now that they're in the conference, they're dominating downriver. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Basketball around here is going well. The girls are hot. Hopefully they stay hot tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to see them jump into sole possession of, third place, knock Woodhaven down a notch.
Yeah.
It's always nice to knock Woodhaven down a notch, no matter what the sport.
Yeah.
I was on vacation through Christmas, and I scheduled that wrong, and we had 2 meets that week. It was Carlson and Woodhaven, and I had strict instructions to the girls when I left that my buddy's wife, Linda, was going to take over the team, and, world-class bowler herself, and I said, do not lose to that Woodhaven team. That's an order, okay? Do not. And I got a text from Krolak. I was on it was 10 in the morning there, okay?
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii, 10 in the morning there,
Imagine
and my
that.
phone went off. It says, this match is going to be over by the first game. You guys are killing us. And I was like, yes.
Oh.
I couldn't have been happier. He said, we're almost finished with the first game and the match is over.
Wow.
So we won both Bakers, and we must have slapped them pretty good on the.
So that's good. The last time that we talked about bowling on local sports, you guys had only lost 1 game at that time, and it was to Taylor. Now it was a big loss as far as the score.
Yes, it wasn't ugly. It wasn't 2 ugly. It was 3 ugly. It was 29-1, and it was bad. It was like you get ready to bowl them. You're both undefeated, and you walk in, and they shoot 220. Let me see scores for the high scores for the year. Yeah, they shot 226 and like $180, and we shot a pair of 170 games and weren't even in it, So we got slapped 10-0, and then the first team game goes, and it's 5 against 5. You get a point for each one of them. You get 4 points for the total pins. So it's team bowling, but there's points. We got beat 9-0. Match was over. And it's the only match Mike comes to watch. The AD is like, oh, you got a first place match? Come up. No offense to the past AD, he was a great guy. But in the 9 years I've been doing bowling with Julian ever, I've never seen an AD at a match, ever. And Mike says, oh, hey, get out and get around, And I said, sorry you had to see this, The boys took care of Taylor just fine, because they bowl the same team right next to us.
Okay.
There's 8 matches going on, boys and girls. So, like, if the girls, let's say, girls Taylor, girls Wyandotte, then boys Taylor, boys Wyandotte, then you might have Woodhaven playing Trenton girls, Woodhaven, Trenton boys. So there's 16 lanes being taken up.
So since the loss to Taylor, how you guys been doing?
Better. We had a coach has to start coaching better, talk. We lucked out the other day. Woodhaven took down Taylor.
Okay.
Unexpected, because I love Krolak. He's taught me a lot about bowling coaching in general and, how to approach it and everything. And we practice together all the time, and every now and then I go down and he's like, help her, she's tuning me out, And same with my team. Come on down, But he lost to Carlson. Okay, Carlson is in 7th place. They've got 3 victories in the whole thing, Woodhaven's got 7. We've got 9, and Taylor's got 10. They're 10-1. We're 9-1, but we've had our bye.
Okay.
Our second bye, with 9 teams in the league. So he's moaning. They lost to Carlson. He said, I don't know what to do here. That's a bad team, and we just lost to them. And we gotta get smoked by Taylor tomorrow. And his girls go in and shoot a pair of 800s and win both Baker games at the start, and he beats them fair and square. He beats them fair and square. Apparently Taylor was missing one girl, one of the regulars, and had to bring up a JV girl, but, that's...
Yeah, it's part of the game. Next man up. Next person
man
up.
I got 8 girls, and I got to send one down to JV every week, every match. And I never know which girl to send down because I've got like 3 or 4 interchangeable parts. I'm not going to pick on one girl and keep sending her down there.
Plus, you want them all to get that experience just in case you need them down the line, right?
Right. I want them up top, absolutely. We're going to need them tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's life. We got 2 big meets this week. Wednesday at Woodhaven, we got to take on Lincoln Park. Okay. And that's not going to be easy. They're out to get us. And then we got Woodhaven at Score Lanes on Thursday, and that's never good. I've lost to them with some stellar teams at Score Lanes. I love Score Lanes. I bowl there Sunday mornings every now and then. High scoring house, This old guy's averaging 2-teen in there,
Okay.
And the same thing with Woodhaven girls. Pins fall down there, I hope they fall down for my team.
So when I was looking at the standings, it gave you a good indication that Angelita is like the leading scorer in the conference.
Yeah, she's averaging 190. She's high average of the league. I think the next closest is in the 170s, maybe close to 180. Let's see, Lincoln Park's, Taylor's got a solid girl. 171. So
yeah.
That's really...
She's like 19 pins better than the next person, right?
So, I have a little advantage there, but your best bowler better be your best bowler on that day.
When it happens.
Yeah. So, she likes Score Lanes. I know she'll bowl good when we go there.
Okay.
Because that's where the regionals are at, and she's led the regionals 2 out of 3 years.
Okay.
She's pretty... I finished second the other one.
Who has been your second bowler that has been the one that's kind of keeping you in things? Or
coming on now, I'd say it's Brooklyn Forrester. She's starting to get it. I made her put a wrist guard on. These girls fight me all the time about the appliance, but she put it on and start pumping out 170s and 180s and 160s where she was shooting 140s, and just the extra roll on the ball, getting a little extra carry, putting it in the spot where she wants. And I said, pretty soon you're going to get comfortable that's going to be your low game. You're going to shoot a 160 and you're going to come back with 180, you know. You're going to be mad that you shot 160. Right now you're happy you shot 160 and 180. I said, you keep sticking with it and you'll be upset. Like when Angelita shoots a $160, she don't like it. You know, she wants to shoot 260.
That's right.
Right, you know, and she's capable.
So the Brooklyn is what year?
I get her another year. She's 11th grader.
Okay.
Okay. I'm losing 3 seniors, and so next year we'll see what we get. But we're worried about tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We worry about tomorrow, and not next year. Not right now.
I guess I was just trying to see the lineup. You got a senior, you got a junior, you got.
Oh, I've got a 9th grader, 10th grader. My 9th grader's Ellie Eisenegger. Pitcher on the softball team. Okay. She's an athlete, and I've had to teach her the ball. Slow down, let the ball roll. And when she's on, she's on. You know, when she's off, she's off. Try to make the correlation with pitching. You know, you got to make a 10-pin. You know, little in shoot that way with the hand. You know, because she's firing it. But she's turning into a bowler. She really is. She's shooting 140s, 150s, steady. She's bowled her way right into the lineup. Some of my 2-year girls are bowling their way right out of the lineup, you know. Sure. And unfortunately, it's about how many pins you can knock down. Yeah. That's bowling. Yeah.
But when you play those tournaments, they still get an opportunity.
Oh, everybody bowls.
Yeah,
everybody bowls. I put them all in. We just had a big tournament. Not to stress it, but we went to the Wayne County when we were defending champs, and we got to the final game. It was we qualified 8th, just snuck in. We were 10th going into the last set of Bakers, and we shot like 190 and 170 and jumped 2 teams and got in for the right to bowl Westland John Glenn, who had 540 more pins than us in qualifying. Okay, yeah. And we took them down. Shot a couple 170s, and they didn't. You know, Bakers are funny. You know, you get a couple strikes, a 3-bagger, the other team falls 30-40 behind. We had a 17-pin lead going into game 2 of the Bakers. It's 2 games total pins, and we increased that lead. You know, and then we had to take on the 4 seed, who was Canton, which is they're in their home house. So I'm like, this is great. And they're loud, they're cheering, they're making all kinds of noise. They won the first game by I want to say 14 or 13. We were down. Slapped them the second game. Shot another 180. They didn't, 140, and they got quiet in a hurry. And it was so nice because then we had to bowl the 2 seed, Divine Child, and lost the first game by 8, won the second game by 3. We had a chance going into the last 3 bowlers. We opened a couple of times, so did they. Angelita struck out, pulled us within 3, but we weren't going to win because it just mathematically wasn't going to happen. But good battle, finished second out of 18 teams. When, you know, we just snuck in, and then they got fired up. It was incredible to watch them make spares like they're supposed to do. You know, it was fun.
Now Coach, I was perusing the MHSA website today, and I actually noticed that I looked in the bowling, and they didn't do a lot of statistical pieces in the bowling as far as standings like you have. But they did have the rankings, and Divine Child was one of the teams that I saw ranked in bowling. So I thought that was interesting that you said that.
And
that
you know what? Westland John Glenn is in our district, our region, and Taylor's in our region, and they take 3 teams. And I've told the girls, you know, we don't have to beat either one of those teams. I said, let's sneak into 3rd. Yeah. You know, let's get to the States. But we got a lot of work to do for that. And I want to talk about the boys' side a little bit because Jerry Sikora, you know, is doing a great job. The boys are 8-1. They're tied for first. They lost to Carlson, but Carlson lost to Woodhaven. So Woodhaven's 8-2 in 3rd place. Taylor's 8-2 in 3rd place. But the boys, they got Woodhaven Thursday along with us, you know, and they've got Taylor tomorrow. Jerry's doing a great job. He's got some kids.
What about the Bain kid? What's he doing?
Tommy Bain is averaging 199. Okay. You know, and I don't know what's high in the boys for that, but Jack Murray's averaging 184, and Michael Massengale's averaging 183, and Tommy Baines got high scores for the year. Tommy Baines got the second highest series of the year, 488. I think he shot 250, 230 that day.
Okay.
488, something.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're right next to us. I watched them light it up, And that two-handed stuff, they're ripping through the ball.
That's how Baines going at it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even my fireballer, my softballer, she's starting to experiment with that. I could teach her how to bowl that way. You got to be able to throw it hard. And the one thing that girl can do is bring it. Okay, I put her in a 16-pound ball just to slow her down.
Gotcha.
And plus, it doesn't deflect when it hits the pins. It hits the pins on a lighter ball, and it doesn't drive. Where the 16-pound hits, and she destroys pins when she hits the pocket. And in a Baker game, if you put her like first or fourth, where if Angelita strikes, which she does a lot of, if your leadoff bowler comes right behind her and puts another one up, you win Baker matches that way. Or you put her fourth and somebody else first, and then she strikes at fourth, Angelita strikes at fifth, and then your number one bowler comes up and she gets one. The three-bagger in the middle of any game is going to win you that game.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so, yeah. And Angelita fills a lot of frames, It's pretty good. So the boys are doing good. They're tied for first. We're tied for first. We're both defending league champs, and I can't predict the future, but man, I want them to bring their A game tomorrow. That's
they
all
will.
I ask,
No, I think they will. As long as they watch the show, they'll have an opportunity to see how much you're bragging on them and how proud of you. And then I'm sure you tell them that though in the speech.
And I told them, we took the day off today, or I wouldn't be able to do this. I said, you guys need to take, take a day off, and if you want to practice, the house is open. Woodhaven's practicing right now, and Southgate was in there practicing. So you want to drive up there after school and throw some balls? They will let you.
Okay.
I said, but Coach won't be there.
That's right.
I needed to put a full day in at work.
Yeah.
I hadn't done that in a while.
No, I'm glad. Glad to have you. What about hockey?
Let me see if I could figure out how this works and get back where we're at.
Oh, yeah.
A little dig on these guys. Jones over there behind the camera dogging out the old man. I am old. I'm 63.
Hey, we all want to do that. Get older.
Hockey.
Yeah, hockey. What do
I
you
love.
got?
Well, on the 11th, Wyandotte took care of Cabrini, 6-4. And on the 12th, Gabriel Richard took care of Carlson, 7-0.
Okay.
So it looks like I understand the Wyandotte team's doing pretty good. Their non-league schedule was solid, tough, But from what I understand, they're holding their own in the league.
Yeah, when over the last couple of weeks, Oz has been breaking down hockey for me, and he tells me that these shifts of hockey are 50 seconds at a time.
If that,
yeah, he said that. That's crazy to me, but
unless you go to a regional like we did, and you've only got 2 lines of forwards and 4 defensemen, then your object is to ice the puck a lot, and we would ice the puck, and.
Ice, it means like 4 corners in basketball?
Well, no. You shoot it all the way. It crosses all 3 lines, and then it stops the play, and they bring it back in your zone for a face-off, and you get a chance to rest while the ref goes and gets the puck and comes back, and So, but if the goalie plays it, it eliminates the icing, and the smart coach on the other team tells his goalie to come out and stop it.
Yeah.
And then we got no time to rest. But
yes, and that's kind of how Wyandott's been battling. What we've been seeing is that they're short. They're short as far as the number of kids that are healthy enough to play. So they've been kind of a mash unit, but they're still playing the tough competition. But those kids are getting a lot of work. So he's thinking that by the end of the year, their win's going to be so strong and they'll be really good.
I like that. In fact, I think there's a tournament on the 28th with Allen Park, Groseville, Ann Arbor Pioneer, and Wyandotte. And it kicks off at 4:30. I don't have where, but that is definitely going to go down. And the other thing about hockey is it's nonstop. They change on the fly. It's all that. It's pretty cool. I've got to take you to a game every now and then. I've watched all your shows. The shows are still on YouTube, everybody, and I watched these 2 and Joel do their thing. And you know what? You're doing a great job. Your interview with Schley was good, and you talking about whatever we can find to talk about is great.
Yeah.
I could brag about bowling all day.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think that Schley made it easy for us too, though, because he came in and he kind of made itself available. What about the swimming market?
Yeah, we got a last thing. There was the Downriver Classic, and the Trenton boys edged out Riverview. But Trenton had 260 points. They were 6 ahead of Riverview. And Woodhaven edged out Roosevelt for third place, 222 to 210. But McCura, what is his first name? Where is it? Anyway, he led the way with Wyandotte. He came with 2 first-place finishes. And he teamed up with Green, Hinojosa, and Sabe to win a 200 freestyle.
Okay.
And then 2 events later, he was in the breaststroke, and he narrowly defeated Riverview's Fraley for first place. So the McCura kid is the horse on the Wyandotte team.
Yeah, the swimming bear, they call him.
We like to give out shout-outs to names. Yeah. Don't forget to email us at localsportswrapup@gmail.com because we can't talk about your kid's signing. I saw a signing today in the Mellis that had
a girl
signing up in the U of M girls hockey.
Yeah, U of M Dearborn.
Julia was commenting on that they play teams, and there's just, it must be really built up in U of M Dearborn because they beat teams 14-3 and stuff like that. She says that's a football score.
Yeah, it is. 14-3, couple touchdowns, field goal.
Conference record for hockey, Wyandotte's 2-2. Woodhaven's leading 4-0. Trenton, that can't be right.
No, that's my handwriting too. No.
That's not it?
No, that's not it.
Never mind. Get a hold of us. Ken's on his own next week. I saw 2 weeks later that there's no practice scheduled for the Bowling Bears. So I might be able to get back here in 2 weeks.
That'd be good, right before the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Who do you like?
This week?
Yeah.
Tough to beat the Eagles, but I think, even with the backup quarterback, I think San Francisco could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know there. And then on the other side, I think it's a repeat. I think Cincinnati goes in there and Mahomes or no Mahomes. I just got a hunch. They blew Buffalo away.
Yeah. You know what? I like Joe Burrow, man. I wish he was the Cowboy quarterback.
He might. Well, he won't be now.
Yeah, I wish he was because did you see like the NFL had it where they had started selling tickets. Because if Cincinnati would have lost, if Buffalo plays KC, it had to be at a neutral site, which is going to be Atlanta. So they were like, get your tickets. So after the game, they stick the microphone in his mouth. He says, get your refund.
I know.
Get your refund.
That was great.
Yeah, I love him.
All right, everyone. Keep watching. Look us up. I'm Marty Janeski. That's Ken Brown over there. We got to sign off. This was fun. It went by like nothing. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. He'll see you next week.